Jeroboam was the worst king yet. A man of God told him that Josiah would rule. Jeroboam's hand dried up. He repented. His son Abijah died, and his other son Nadab took the throne. Meanwhile, Rehoboam's son Abijam was bad. His son Asa was good, but paid Syria to not befriend Baasha of Israel anymore. Asa was then diseased in his feet. Meanwhile, the new line of Baasha ended Jeroboam's line and was the worst king yet. He was prophesied against. His son started to reign but was killed by his servant Zimri, who assumed the throne for 7 days before suicide. Thus Israel selected 2 candidates, Omri and Tibri. The vote was 51% for Omri, so they slew the other guy. Omri was the worst king yet, and his son Ahab was worse. But God allowed Ahab to smite 227,000 Syrians on the mountain and another 100,000 on the plain for saying that God was not the God of the plains. And when the remaining 127,000 Syrian soldiers retreated, their wall fell on them and killed the rest. So Ben-Hadad made peace with Ahab. Ahab humbled himself, thus God extended his line. Ahab died feigning himself in battle with the Moabites. The Moabites rebelled at Ahab's death. His son Ahaziah reigned till he inquired of an idol. So Elijah asked, "Is it because there's no God in Israel? You will die." Meanwhile, Jehoshaphat took Asa's place and was just as good. But he allied with Ahab and would have been killed with him, but cried out to the Lord. Then he allied with Edom and Ahab again. This time, instead of Micaiah, Jehoshaphat asked for Elisha's counsel, which was to dig ditches. Judah ceased battle when the Moabite king sacrificed his firstborn. Edom revolted during his son Jehoram's reign. Jehoram's son became king for a year. Then his wife, the daughter of Ahab, became queen after both he and his son were dead. She had Judah's kingly line killed. However, Josiah was hid as prophesied. She was on the throne less than a year when 7-year-old Josiah was declared king for the next 40 years. Meanwhile, Jorah, the king of North Israel, received sick King Ahaziah, son of Jehoram, to stay with him. Ben-Hadad of Syria sends to kill Joram 3 times, but God tells Elisha, and Elisha hides Joram. Finally, Ben-Hadad sends an army to get Elijah. Elisha asks that the young man's eyes be opened and prays blindness on Ben-Hadad's armies. He leads them to Samaria. Recovering, they are fed and let go. Then Ben-Hadad surrounds Samaria, starving it. God has them hear Pharaoh and run. The people stomp over the king of Samaria to the spoil as prophesied. Ben-Hadad is sick. He sends his servant Hazael to Elijah about recovery. Elisha tells Hazael's betrayal. Hazael will name his son Ben-Hadad. Elisha tells a young man to run and anoint Jehu king, then scram. Jehu is asked what just happened. He said that he is the new king, and he jumped into the chariot. Joram is told by the watchman that Jehu's coming. So Joram goes to meet him after sending 2 messengers. Jehu says, "What peace is there, evil man?" Immediately Joram retreats, but Jehu shoots him with a bow, and then he sends letters to his 70 sons for a standoff. They say, "We will come and be your servants." He kills them, and from a chariot says, "Hop on and see my zeal for the Lord." He announces that he will serve Baal much and has every Baal worshipper come, then kills them all. Because of this, his 4th generation was prophesied to keep the throne. But after that, he didn't care much about serving God. Jehu's son, Jehoahaz, was taken by Ben-Hadad till he repented. Meanwhile, Josiah had a good son named Amaziah, but Amaziah did not obey the prophecy to not war against Jehoahaz's son Jehoash. Thus he lost. Then Amaziah hid in Lachish, where they killed him. His son Ahaziah, was also called Uzziah, was good, but he didn't take away the high places. He became a leper. His son Jotham paid the temple gold to Assyria against Rezin. He also had his son pass through fire. His son Ahaz was evil, but his son was Hezekiah. Manasseh's son Ammon was slain by his house and replaced by his son Josiah. 8-year-old Josiah was the last free king for 31 years. At age 18, he found the law of God and asked the prophetess what would happen. God would take